Welcome to the Same Beauty Empire Show, the podcast that provides beauty professionals from all over the world an outlet to be vulnerable, learn, aspire, and grow. Join us as we come to know the hardships and bliss of the beauty industry. Subscribe and share because you won't want to miss this beauty industry tea, honey.
Same babe. Today we have to make a little bit of a longer introduction. She is just phenomenal. Her name is Jessica Thomas. So she is someone that made an impact on the makeup industry for the time that she has been in the industry. She is a magazine published and owner of Bombshell Beauty, right? Thank you so much for joining today, Jessica. I'm really, really happy to have you. Very, very happy to have you.
No, thank you for having me. Honestly, I'm happy to be here.
For sure. For all of our viewers, let me just say this. You're going to want to get a pen and a pad out and take notes, especially if you're a pro MUA. JessicaThomas.MUA is someone that you should be going to follow on Instagram. She has a lot of experience and knowledge about the industry. And so you are a pro makeup artist, Jessica, that is originally from Cleveland, Ohio, and you are still in Cleveland, Ohio, right?
Yes, still here.
Okay. And so you travel to New York as well to do makeup, but we'll get more into that later, and I'll let you give us all of the details on that. But also some things that I want to mention about Jessica is that she's been trained by some big names that I'm personally obsessed with, like Tiyana Robinson and Sir John, if I'm saying it correctly. And y'all, Sir John does Beyonce's makeup, okay? So if you don't know who that is, you're lost. She's been featured in Vogue, Elle magazine, Cosmopolitan, Elegant, and has also done Ohio, Philly, and New York Fashion Week, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a complete privilege for us to have you today. I'm really, really excited to get into it. Tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about that in particular. What makes you, unique as a makeup artist? What are the different styles and techniques that you specialize in, Jessica?
Oh, wow. I don't even know where to start. I would say just a little bit about, me and what I love to do, and I guess techniques and styles is, and I'm sure you probably could tell by a lot of my work and some of the different jobs I've done, but like runway has my heart, like so bad. It has my heart so bad. And I think it's not just because of, it being like an exhilarating kind of job to work on, but I think it has so much more meaning behind it. As someone who kind of looked up to like New York Fashion Week and looking at, what's on the runway, what's trending. Unfortunately, for a lot of the time, that I've kind of seen in my life, like looking up to those different platforms, it's not been a lot of women of color. It's not been a lot of inclusivity in terms of size or gender identity. And I just felt like, growing up, I'm like, okay, I know I'm cute, I know I'm popping, but like, why am I never on the runway? Why am I never trending? Why am I never, a topic of, the conversation of, what's out in society, what's beautiful and all of those things. And I think for me as a makeup artist, that was like the first thing that I wanted to tackle. I was like, okay, well, I want to do runway because I don't see anyone out there who looks like me, and I want to change that. So I think, really kind of moving with that passion and just that energy, I've been able to sit here and be on some really great productions and also just kind of cultivate more inclusivity overall in the runway space. So it's definitely been something that I'm so honored to be a part of. And it really has, I think it has my heart really bad. Honestly, I'm gonna keep saying it, but like, it's just okay. Something.
We want to know what is in your heart. That's great.
Yes, it's so important. I think just having that space for us to really like feel represented and be seen. So, it's always going to be something that I will hold dear to me.
With everything you have on your plate, doing your makeup is one thing you shouldn't have to stress about. Find the easiest way to dry and hang your makeup brushes with cosmetics' most wanted makeup brush drying tool, Air Dry. Air Dry is a quick and easy to install brush tower designed to encourage natural brush drying in an effort to avoid makeup brush damage or deformation. Available now on www.stainbeautyempire.com.
Can I just say this? I mean, I know this dear to your heart to work on set, but you actually belong on the runway. You're gorgeous.
Oh.
I mean, you're just absolutely gorgeous. You look like a model yourself. So you could do both. You could pretty much do both, Jessica.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, absolutely. And I love what you said about being able to see us on those platforms.
Yes.
That's why this interview means so much to me, because to see us on those levels and to see us in those positions more is something that I know that for myself as a makeup artist, I want to see. So I could only imagine with your experience and your time in the game, how much it makes you passionate about that specifically with seeing us in these levels of position. So I really, really respect, admire, and appreciate you for pointing that out today. So beautiful, beautiful expressions that you just gave. Another thing that I want to get into is the fact that, you know, as I mentioned, you're very experienced as a makeup artist, and this is a platform for beauty pros to be vulnerable, to be able to share experiences. But we have to remember that a lot of us are actually business masterminds. Like, I want people who are interested in entrepreneurship to understand that they can learn so much about business, even just from this show, because we even talking to beauty professionals in the industry, all of it has to do with business. Like, we're literally business people. We're entrepreneurs. So this leads me to ask you, has the beauty industry always been something that you wanted to get into? Or, you know, did you have something else in mind? What inspired you to take that leap and said, I'm going to start my own business as a makeup artist? Because whether you're a makeup artist yourself, or you have other employees, it's still a business. So what inspired you?
Oh, wow. So honestly, I kind of fell in love with makeup by accident. But I feel like it's been the best decision of my life. So I actually went to school for engineering. So during the week, I'm still an engineer, working my 9 to 5. And I do makeup on the weekends and, you know, gigs whenever I'm not working as an engineer. But I went to school for engineering. I got my degree in electrical engineering and physics. And so during that time, that was like my first time being away from home and away from, you know, Cleveland, the community and things like that. So definitely was having like some moments of missing home. And then I also, you know, that's just scary, just kind of coming into like college and into yourself. And I honestly I was like, okay, like I'm stressed out. I'm gonna sit here and do my makeup. We're gonna go somewhere. And then it just like snowballed into like my roommates were like, hey, can you do my makeup? And then my friends and my family were like, hey, can you do my makeup? And believe it or not, as much as I was stressing about school and just freaking out internally, it kind of served as like a ministry for me to just release my energy and just calm down and just have an outlet to just like, I think just calm down and just create and just be at peace. So I kind of fell like head first into it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to stay here and like continue to do makeup. And then I kind of found, I was like, oh, wait, like we're able to educate, we're able to inspire and just really be in a different space with someone. I was like, okay, I like this. Yes. I felt like, you know, I was really doing something a lot more meaningful, you know, definitely just instead of crunching numbers in my classes and things like that. So I think it really served as like, again, like that ministry for me to kind of just release my energy and all my frustrations that I had. And then I was like, okay, well, if people are going to keep asking me to do this, like, we're going to just go ahead and do this and make it into a business. So I started, you know, actually saying, hey, I'm a makeup artist and we're going to do this. And I think something that really helped me out too was all while this was kind of coming about, I was trying to find out like courses and things like that to take. So I was like, okay, if I'm a makeup artist, I need to know how to do a red lip and a winged liner and smoky eyes and all these things. And so believe it or not, the closest MAC store was like 3 hours away from me. The closest Ulta, which also did lessons and classes at that time, was like 4 hours away. And I was like, how am I going to sit here and like learn how to do these things that I don't know how to do? And honestly, at that time, I think, YouTube was still kind of newer, wasn't really as populated as it is now. And y'all, like, so crazy to say now, but back, in that time, like around like 2015, 16-ish, the very first thing that I did was go on Google, and I was like, okay, well, let me research, like, is there any type of like online course? Is there any type of class that I can take from an academy or something? So I think it's so prevalent now that there's a lot of online makeup courses, which I'm so happy about. But back then there was like 2, maybe 3, like it was so sparse.
Exactly.
So sparse.
Exactly.
And believe it or not, I sat here and I found a makeup artist who's actually based in New York. Her academy is called Nina MUA Academy. And so she had a couple different makeup courses that also offered like a makeup kit. So I was like, okay, well, this is the best, that I can find. So I'm going to take this course. So I took it. It really taught me the basics, kind of got my kit started and going. It stocked me up with everything like Makeup Forever to start. So I was like, okay, this is cool. I felt, equipped enough to say, hey, I'm a certified makeup artist. I can sit here and achieve, whatever look you're trying to execute. So I kind of started there. And then, following years, I was like, okay, well, I need to learn more. And that's when I really sought out more education through Tiyana Robinson, as well as Sir John. They had live master classes in Chicago, New York. And so ever since, I've been really trying to make sure that each year I kind of like pour into my craft a little bit more. Depending on, whose instructional courses I can find, or like showing up in person or things like that. So it was like quite a turn for my life, but I think definitely the best decision, because I really do feel that it keeps me sane.
Yes.
Keeps me sane.
I'm sure that being an engineer is something that it requires a lot from you. So to be able to go to something where you can use as an outlet to engage with your creative side, I'm sure is always refreshing. That's kind of how I view it too for myself. It's so funny because I work, full time as well, but I do makeup on the side, and it's something that I'm constantly looking forward to. I don't view it as a job. I view it as something that I'm doing, even just like for fun, but I'm actually able to do it for monetary gain, which is just a plus, right? So I completely agree with you on that. And I like the fact that the difference with you and some other makeup artists that may be full-time is that, you're still able to accomplish so much within the industry, or you were able to accomplish and still are being able to accomplish so much within the industry, even though you still have a full-time job.
Yeah, girl. And I laugh because I'm like, it is so hard.
Because at your level now, I'm sure that it is. Like right now for me, I'm kind of like, I love this. Like, I have the time to be able to continuously build up my clientele and post and do tutorials and do things like that. But I know there comes a point and a time where it's gonna get crazy. And I'm sure you are past that point.
A little bit. A little bit, but we're still here. We still trying to, organize the calendar, make it all work. But definitely harder than I thought it would be a couple of years ago.
Yes. I could only imagine. But kudos to you, Jessica. You are really doing the thing. You are really doing the thing. So you've already touched on kind of, some courses or schools that, you were thinking of, and you also went through with some specific courses from specific people that kind of was your stepping stone into the industry, which is nice. And you got your kit built and things like that. Did you, or do you still have sort of a mentor that, you rely on in the industry?
Honestly, I would say I have a lot of local, like Cleveland mentors, but I still even converse with Tiyana. So a part of like her beauty program, like I think that has really been by far just the biggest, I think, community that I've seen, like in terms of makeup artists and really just growing your beauty business and really understanding the business aspects to it. Her program is awesome. I would definitely recommend it to anybody. Beauty Mogul University, it's insane. I think it just made everything so much more clear. So I do feel like that has been like the biggest course and most beneficial one to date. And I love still kind of conversing with her and kind of getting through like a lot of, some of like these ideas that, kind of we cultivate. At times we can sit here and move out of fear and doubt. And I think a lot of the times, like I talk to her about, some of that and, just my plans and how to execute those, because your mindset comes first, and when you have like a mentor and a coach to really help you with that, then everything else is seamless. It's going to go exactly how you planned it.
Wow, look at the humility, because I personally feel like, and this is my thing that I always say is, doesn't matter how long you've been in the game or how long you've been doing what you're doing. It doesn't matter what it is in the beauty industry. Have somebody that you can go to when you're stuck, or you need to think of more creative things or ways to do your job, right? There's always somebody that you can go to and somebody that you can rely on in that regard. And Tiyana, of course, is an amazing person to be able to do that with. So I'm happy for you. That's a privilege to be able to have somebody of her candor to be able to go to whenever you need advice, A little bit on her course. Is it only online, or does she have in person as well?
She has in-person like meetups here and there. I think she's still based in the DC area.
Okay.
With COVID and everything, I have not had a chance to see her in person since I started with her back in, I think, like 2018 or something like that.
Okay, so she does online courses.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yes.
So for anybody that's listening that's interested in getting into the makeup industry, Tiyana is somebody who is a great person to learn from. She's very experienced in the makeup industry, but not only that, she also has a great outlook on the business side of the makeup industry and can really tell you and show you how to flip that money. Right. So that is somebody that is great to have in your corner. We want to snag some of that juice from you today, Jessica. We want to, no wonder you're so amazing, because I know definitely from my research that she is somebody that is great to learn from. So I might want to look into that course. Thank you so much for letting me know about that. What keeps you pushing on a daily basis? We know now that you have somebody that you can go to. Is there another motivating factor for you?
Honestly, I think I have to just go back to just really making sure that we're moving forward and progressing in the inclusivity space. I felt like, when I first started my career, it was really about like, okay, I love makeup and this is like my ministry, but I think it's so much bigger than me now. And honestly, it makes me like a little anxious and scared to kind of like get into this new kind of sector that I'm into now with influencing and kind of working with brands to build up like larger shade ranges for, women of color. But I'm like, listen, I'm like, if this is where, God is leading me to go, if this is where I'm meant to be, then so be it. I think, when we kind of do things that are out of our comfort zone, it does scare us. But I think that's really been like my big driver motivator as of late. I'm so not an influencer, y'all. Like, I'm not. Like, this thing is hard. Like, I can't listen. Oh my God.
Listen. I'm so
difficult
happy that you brought that up.
Yes.
Guys, this is a great podcast. I mean, if you about to turn off this podcast, you need to just stay on, because now this topic about just makeup artists transitioning into that influencer, it's like,
yes,
I think in today's day and age, just to touch on that a little bit, you have to have a social media presence at a certain level with whatever business you're doing. So I feel like makeup artistry is, for some makeup artists, is getting a little influencer-ish. But to be a full out influencer is hard.
Yes.
And I think for those makeup artists who like to do little tutorials and little things and show products and stuff, or get a PR package and you know, I mean, it's a PR package, you might as well do the content. I think that's fun. But to now say I'm going to transition to an influencer, that's a huge step. That is a huge step. So I like how you said, I'm not an influencer.
Not at all. Listen, not at all.
It's like, today you got to make that clear to people. Like, don't expect me to put you guys on every single product and every single, because listen, you might get a little bit, but I'm not an influencer.
Yes.
So I love that you brought that out. Thank you for bringing that up, because I do think that that needs to be clarified sometimes. Thank you for sharing that about the inclusivity in what you do, because even with Bombshell Beauty, I'm sure that that's something that has influenced a lot of your decisions when it comes to the products that you sell, the shade ranges of the things that you sell in Bombshell Beauty, because I know it's not just brushes, right? You also
so
have
brushes and then lashes.
Okay. Because I was looking on there and I saw that it wasn't just one thing. Like, I knew that it started off as lashes, right?
Yep.
And then now it's going into brushes. So are you thinking of getting into any products? Since you're really about that shade range and okay.
I really hope so. And I think, again, it all is like weirdly connected, just with me kind of venturing more into doing like more brand work and things like that. So, you know, I work with, you know, Mayron and Scandinavia and doing different things for bringing them on board as like sponsors for runway shows, and kind of got that experience kind of working with like, you know, products and brands in that way. And I think, you know, again, in this like kind of working with other brands in terms of like product creation and shade colors and kind of promoting that, it's almost like this was the path that I was headed on anyway, to really start to implement that into my own business with Bombshell Beauty. So yeah, I mean, hopefully pretty soon. It's definitely not like a quick, I guess, task to kind of, you know, develop products and test them and, you know, all of that whole thing, but definitely working toward that in the future for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
We need that. We want to see you in that capacity, especially with how passionate you are about that. So thank you. Let me just say that now. So I'm glad that we touched on that, because that's obviously one of the goals for your business. Any other goals for the future?
Honestly, I really do feel like, and this may be more of a personal goal and probably something not the most makeup related, but I think really getting to a state of just balance and having, you know, the freedom to say, you know, this is how my schedule is going to be and things like that. You know, I feel like as makeup artists and beauty content creators and everything, we are hustlers out here. Like, we are hustlers out here. We are doing it every single day. And, you know, that's definitely, you know, time we can never get back. So I think, you know, especially with me, not that I'm like, you know, about to get married or have kids or anything, but like in the future, I definitely want to make room for that, you know, room to kind of grow into that space in my life. So, you know, I feel the more that we can sit here and not solely be beauty technicians in our business and turn into, you know, really like moguls and have, you know, digital products and products that may not necessarily meet us physically in the flesh. You know, that's awesome. I think that's really something I want to get to at some point, where I can really just have a little bit more balance and freedom, especially still with the 9-to-5 and having my beauty business and then Bombshell Beauty on the side. It's a bit much at times, but we're making it work.
I could imagine how much it is. Bombshell Beauty is also, you know, of course, that level of passive income for you. So you've already started that journey on getting there. So you're definitely about to hit that in no time. We know it. We know it. We can see it. We can see it. So thank you for sharing that. We're so proud of you. We want to see it. We're waiting. That, you know, that whole, I would say, passion that you have for inclusiveness is important, and we need people like that in the beauty industry. What advice would you give someone who may be watching this that's thinking of getting into the beauty industry, or maybe even just becoming a makeup artist like yourself?
So, oh gosh, I just feel like, don't block your blessing first and foremost. I think that's something, there's been times, I'm not even gonna lie, like, guys, I'm just like, okay, like, I'm just gonna stop. Maybe I shouldn't do this, especially when I first started. A lot of that self-doubt and moving out of fear, and I think other people's expectations, and most importantly, I think how other people, depending on where you are geographically, I guess, do makeup. That's definitely been like a thing. People told me, like, oh my God, you will never be like a successful makeup artist because you don't do brows like exactly this way. And it's like, I think at the time, like, I was like, oh my God, that hurt my feelings. But I think it's just so important to remember we all have our own aesthetic. We all have our own unique vibe. We all are meant to be here in this space. There's room for all of us. And I think just you really showing your personality and just showing how bomb you are, you will stay here and dominate. It's a mindset thing. It's not about, your skill, your capability and your talents or your lack of whatever. It's about how you move and how you really feel. It's all a mindset thing. So a hard lesson I kind of had to learn, I think, definitely my mom and my boyfriend keep me motivated and keep reminding me that every day. But sometimes it is hard when you kind of have a lot of backlash and a lot of people, naysayers or haters, whatever you want to call them. It's just, you got to be true to you at the end of the day.
Oh, that was beautiful, Jessica. That was beautiful. So you hear that, Bombshell beauties and stained babes? Never give up just because you are being told that you have to be a particular type of beauty professional, whether it's in makeup or something else. With makeup in particular, thank you so much for saying that. Let me just say that. Because I do feel like there's Instagram makeup, there's commercial makeup, there's so many different types, there's editorial, there's so many different types of levels of makeup. And for you to say that eyebrows have to look a certain way, or, just any technique, or you have to contour, like, there's certain things that are for certain levels of makeup artistry. And we must remember this. We must remember this. And you belong in the room if you have been educated in your field and you have the confidence to take it on. You belong in the room. So thank you so much for saying that. All we're trying to do is just get better, right? Exactly. Every day at our craft. And as long as you're doing that, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? Would you say that, Jessica?
No, 100%. 100%.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. We really appreciate that. So we're coming to the last segment of our show. We're so happy, so happy to have Jessica here doing our No Shade, All Shine segment. So we're going to ask you a couple of questions, and we want to just hear what comes off the top of your head, okay?
Yes.
So what's one cosmetic product that you can't leave the house without?
Okay, so my OM Glow setting sprays.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't think I'm hip to it, so I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yes, they're absolutely gorgeous. So Joelle Phillips is actually the owner, and she actually was also a student and still is, I believe, of Tiyana. She got the idea from a coaching with her, and believe it or not, she actually, it's like a glow highlighter spray, but she started because she would get like a MAC Fix Plus and then get the pigments and mix it all together. And now she formulated her own product in that, same like fashion, also has like glow serums and things like that. It's absolutely stunning.
And say the name for me again.
Yep, it's OM Glow.
OM Glow. Okay. So that's good to know. We got to check that out, Stain Babes. OM Glow. Thank you for bringing something new to this. Okay, so what's one makeup product that you think is overhyped?
Oh gosh.
That's hard. I know.
This is a hard question. Oh my gosh. So
it could be a concealer that everybody like just raves about. It could be a foundation, because I'm sure that you've tried a lot.
Yes. Honestly, I think, and this is something I saw, like, I think recently on social media on someone else's story. I don't know what brand it is, but it's a concealer that's claiming to be hydrating as well as it's like a luminous, dewy, matte concealer. And I was so confused. I was
like, how? Okay, how?
So I'm gonna say that's the overhyped product because I didn't understand that.
That was a great makeup artist joke. That was a great.
Get it.
It's like, how, Sway? How is that possible? Okay, I love that. I love that. We don't need to call them out, but that is funny. What's one dream celebrity, if you haven't already worked on them, that you would love to work on?
Honestly, I think it would be Keke Palmer. I'm loving, I've always been a fan of her, but I think I'm really loving how she's come into her own and been a lot more vocal as to like beauty and standards and society. And I think more importantly, you know, brown women, darker brown skinned women. I mean, I love it. And I think as many times as I've seen her, you know, she sat here and rocked like every, you know, style and way and has been so confident about it. She moves with grace. So I would love to sit here and glam her up. And she also has acneic skin like I do. So I'm like, we could definitely relate and, you know, exchange some tips there.
Yes, I love Keke. That's a great one. We had to add an extra one. We just want to know, what is your favorite foundation?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I feel like it's not just one. So I love NARS Sheer Glow is like OG. I will forever. Yeah, I love NARS Sheer Glow. And Black Opal as well. I still like love Black Opal. And then believe it or not, some of these different clean beauty brands that I've been doing work with as far as like influencing and shade range extensions and stuff, they're coming and they're pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. I think something I definitely struggle with as you know, an African-American woman is finding a shade that's gonna work for me sometimes. And some of these clean beauty brands that are on the market and then they're kind of coming up, these indie brands, they're coming and it's really good. I literally today I got a care package from Make Beauty, and so it's concealer and skin tint. So I did put it on today and I've been trying to test it out and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. So
okay. Yeah. So thank you for giving us the tea on that. Thank you for giving us the tea on that. So since we added that question, we're gonna swap out some questions really quickly. What would you rather treat yourself with? Shoes or a bag?
Oh, shoes.
Shoes? Okay, so heels or sneakers?
Oh no, I need heels.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're a heels girl. What do you do that's like therapy for you? Like, is there a service that you do that's like therapy, like nails or lashes or
honestly, I feel like almost all of the above. I've been going to get a pedicure, getting facials, even just doing my own makeup is therapy for me. I think I'll just sit there and just like glam myself and just be so happy.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Because makeup is definitely a form of therapy. I just want to put that out there.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much, Jessica, for joining today. We really appreciate you. We love everything that you're about, everything that you're doing. Keep rocking, girl. Thank you so much for joining the show today. And we want to have you back, okay? We need to have you back for a part 2.
Yes, no, thank you for having me. I would love to be back. Let me know.